sometimes I watch these videos. I just started watching them. I didn't used to watch them. And I see some mistakes, some little mistakes of spelling or something like that. Don't sweat that. Don't worry about it. You know, pay attention. We go over it enough times, you get the correct one and stuff like that. And if you have a question, just follow it up. You know, alhamdulillah. I mentioned that because one time I said jurufun har, and I said it with ha instead of a ha, and that's a mistake. It's jurufun har, okay? But you see that jurufun, that noon is clear. The letters that we're going to do now, the sounds we're going to do now, they're not going to be idharan. It's not going to be idgham, mimma. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have it. It's not going to dakhala shay fi shay. It's not going to mix in like that. It's going to fade in. It's not going to be iqlab, where we figure anbiya. We're not going to flip it. But we're going to gradually fade it into the letter. So watch the first one. The first one is yansurkum. Yan. If we say yan, okay, but see now we're going yansurkum, right? So you would say yansurkum. You see how you do that? You fade that into that. Yansurkum. And what we have here is we have a nun sakina going next to a sad in one word. So that is the rule of ikhfa. It's between the idhar and the idgham. It's between being clear and it's between being entered into the next letter. So it's faded in. You understand that? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So then we have alladhina hum an salatihim. Say an. Say an. Salatihim. Salatihim. This is a real good example because most people recite this surah, right? Salatihim. I'm doing Hamza. Okay, so now you wouldn't say an salatihim, you say an salatihim. You see, you fade in it. An. You don't go on. A lot of people pronounce the ayn incorrectly. It's not an. Now say an salatihim. And for those people who recite in Warsh, it will be an salatihim. That's for the people who recite in Warsh because the lam has a different rule. Okay? But for those people who recite in Hafs, it's an salatihim. Because we have a noon is sakina next to a sad, even though they're in separate words, the noon is sak. The rule is that you ikhfa, you fade it into it. You everybody following me? Is that easy? Rihan sarsaran. What do I have? Liman sabra. I like mine better. Okay? Liman sabara. Liman sabara. Okay? Hold on. No, I'm sorry. I made a mistake here. I don't want to give this example because we already covered that one. Okay? We already covered it in two different words. I want to do it again with the tanween. Sorry about that. So now we're going to do, which one am I going to use? Rijalan sadaqu. Okay. We have rijalun. Rijalun. Say rijalun. Because there's nothing here, so we have to pronounce the tanween clear, right? I don't hear your voice, Abdul Hamid. Abdul Hamid is representing Staten Island, Strong Island, and Bed-Stuy in the house. Nah, stuff like Rijalun. I want to hear it loud. No, I didn't hear him though. Rijalun. Okay. Now, afterwards, now we're going to put sadaqu. Sadaqu. Okay? Sadaqu. So now it's no longer rijalun because they have a tanween next to a sad. So it's going to be what? What's the rule? What's the rule, people? The rule is ikhfa. That's the name of the rule. The rule is ikhfa. How do we do that? This is what I want from you guys because remember, we're almost finished. Believe it or not, Jamzuri is not a long text. And it's not a difficult. You're through the meat and potatoes of the whole text. Did you know that? When you finish noon and sakin and tanween, that's most of the subject matter in Jamzuri. The only other thing that comes after this that's long is madud, the med. Because it's 9 rules. But that's pretty simple. It's real simple. It just looks intimidating. So what you have to start doing, and this is the problem with the Western students, application. Not just learning. Everybody sits at so many different messages and classes and online and pal talk and go to this room. But can you do anything afterwards? Is there a practical skill that you've developed? And developed means piece by piece. You start off and you're a little clumsy. Then afterwards you get your bearing, just like riding a bike or skates or whatever it is that you like to do. You didn't learn how to do it in one time, but you practice. So you have to open your mouths and practice it. See, the rule is that you name the rule. Then you say how it's practically done. What's the rule? The rule is ikhfa, right? Why is it ikhfa? Because there's a tanween next to a sad. And sad is one of the letters of ikhfa. What's the proof? The poet who said in Jamzuri, the classical text, sif dhatana, sif, sad. Right? And he said, وَرَابِعُ الْإِخْفَاءُ عِنْدَ الْفَاضِلِ مِنَ الْحُرُوفِ وَاجِبٌ لِلْفَاضِلِ فِي خَمْسَةٍ مِنْ بَعْدِ عَشْرٍ رَمْزُهَا فِي كِلْمِ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ قَدْ ضَمَّنْتُهَا صِف. Sad. So we learn from this text, you see what memorization, and you start bringing this up, that the tanween, when tanween comes next to a sad, that the rule here is ikhfa. How do you practically do that? In Arabic, we would say, bayn al-idhar wal-idgham. You bring it between an idhar, which is to make a sound what in English? How would we say idhar in English? To make that noon sound independent, clear. To make a clear noon sound. Make a clear noon sound. Let me hear it. And we had a whole lesson on just noon. We wrote on the board, ben. Or ben, like this. Ben and bin and bun. Remember that? Just to clarify what noon sound was and what tanween is. Use that stuff. Or you get sent, we're going to get referred back, we have to start all over again. Go back to that stuff and learn how to use it. So there's a noon sound. That's saying rijalun. Then when you have a sad there, you say rijalun sadaqu. And you do it, it should take maybe 2 counts. Okay? Rijalun sadaqu. So then when the person it goes, Rijalun sadaqu, is that good? No. They may do it. Makin may sell it. He may even give it away in all those CDs. But is it correct? And that's what we're doing here. We're doing it the correct way. Okay? Rijalun sadaqu. So we got to get to the point. The point is to get that noon almost pronounced, then you start with the sad, within 2 counts. So we have one in one word. Yansurkum an salatihim rijalun sadaqu. The next letter is dhal, and we got to work a little bit fast, you know, because as Sheikh Farid Abu Mujahid used to say, الوقت الضيق or قليل والواجبات الكثير. The time is little, but the obligations are many. So we have to, you know, work hard. Okay? The next one that we're going to have, what do I have? I have the same thing. Is dhal. So we have mundir. Say mundir. Mundirun. But so we just finish it like that. Say mundir. You see the noon is sakin, it comes before a dhal. Like sif dha. So the dhal comes mundir. So then we have that ikhfa. That's the rule right there. The next one, we would have it in 2 words. So I say man dhalladhi. We say this a lot of times, right? After salah, we recite this. And before we go to sleep, we recite this, right? Man dhalladhi yashfa'u indahu. So we say man dhalladhi. Say man dhalladhi. So we say man dhalladhi. Not man. Let's say man. Ma. Mim fatah ma. Say that. You remember the lessons? All these lessons build on each other. When you forget, the teacher will take you back. Mim fatah ma. Louder. Unclick your fingers. Mim fatah ma. Right. So it's not going to be ma. It's going to be ma. Okay, man dhalladhi. You have to open your mouth. Man dhalladhi. Tongue has to come out your mouth. As the Sheikh Qasim used to say, Qasim Ahmed, he used to say, it's teeth and tongue. Stick your tongue out. Man dhalladhi. Right. It's like Al-Jazari said, وَلَيْسَ بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ تَرْكِهِ إِلَّا رِيَاضَةُ امْرِئٍ بِفَكِّهِ. And there's nothing for a man doing it and not doing it except exercising his jaw.